Ladies and gentlemen of the class of 26, listen to How to Be an Icon. If I could offer you only one tip for the future, how to be an icon would be it. The long-term benefits of how to be an icon have been proven by scientists, whereas the rest of my advice has no basis nor reliable than my own meandering experiences. I will dispense this advice now. Hello and welcome to How to Be an Icon. I'm Jared Jones and I'm joined by Donna Cameron. How are you doing today?
I'm really good.
Really, really good, yeah?
Yeah, because we got a whole weekend of podcast goodness coming up.
Oh, it's so exciting.
For us, not for you, listeners.
Not for you.
For you, nothing will change, but for us, we're doing a lot this weekend.
We sure are. And if you want to hear all the goodness that we're up to, then please give us a follow on your podcast platform of choice, whether you're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're also on YouTube as well. You can follow us on Instagram, How to Be an Icon Pod. And if you go into the description, you can go onto our Patreon, patreon.com/how to be an icon. Like I say, link is in the description. You get access to our bonus content, where this week we're going to be reviewing Wuthering Heights, Emerald Fennell's Wuthering Heights. We saw it. We had thoughts. We have feelings. I know we're a little bit late to the party on this one.
Wuthering Heights, more like withering.
Wuthering Shites. Didn't like it.
Kathy died. I wish I could die.
There we go. That's.
I've been practicing
Yeah.
my Statler and Waldorf because I realize I don't do it well.
Yeah. But
It's a bad film.
It's
It's a bad film and in a lot of different ways.
we will get into it on our Patreon for our post show. That's patreon.com/how to be an icon. Today, though, we're talking about another filmmaker who is, some would argue,
Significantly better.
You know, people have lobbied the criticism that has been lobbied at Emerald Fennell, which is style over substance.
I'm going to get to it.
But, like, you know, it's definitely one that can be made. We're talking about Baz Lurhmann.
Funnily enough, Emerald Fennell's Wuthering Heights came out at maybe the best time it could have for me to do this episode, because it gives me the best example I could ever need to make the point I'm going to make at the end.
Okay.
So, first of all, Jared, what's Baz Luhrmann's favourite drink, do we think?
Well, you know, I know in the 90s he used to party a lot with those maracas, him with Shawn Ryder, you know, Twisting Your Melons Man and all that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Baz from the...
We're talking about Baz from the Happy Mondays. You fool. You absolute foolish man. That's a joke about 9 people are going to get.
Well, it was worth it. Baz Luhrmann's favourite drink. I'm going to go with champagne.
So I don't have a definitive answer. I have to go off a Google AI answer, which Google lies. Google actively will lie to your face.
Sure will, yeah. We've experienced this many times.
Oh, Lord. The answer that I've got, and here's the thing, I'm going to go with it because I believe it has like a nugget of truth, but I couldn't find anything definitive. The answer I got was a gin martini.
Oh, that makes sense. I can see
stating
that.
Bombay Sapphire is his favourite gin.
Okay.
Well, Baz, really? Bombay Sapphire? A very 90s choice.
Well, do you know what? Do you know what I think this will be? This
Go
is
on.
my theory on this one. Obviously, The Great Gatsby came out in like 2012 when Bombay Sapphire was really having a...
Gin was having a moment.
Gin was really having a moment. And yeah, I could imagine that being a like promotional tie-in type thing. But that is speculation on my part. I don't want to put that out there as an established fact. But I could see that being the case.
I have a confession to make.
Okay.
I was in my 20s when I learned that Bombay Sapphire wasn't blue. It's just the bottle.
Yeah,
that
it's
was
the
blue.
bottle. It's the bottle that's blue.
For some reason, always thought the gin was blue.
No.
And then went, oh no, that's blue curacao.
Yeah, no. Different thing.
Different thing altogether.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you'd asked me while I'm listening to Nicholas Nickelback, drinking my blue gin.
Your blue gin. Like Bridget Jones and the soup.
That's it. Mark Anthony Luhrmann was born September 17th, 1962 in Sydney, New South Wales, to mother Barbara Carmel and father Leonard Luhrmann. His mother was a ballroom dance teacher and a dress shop owner, and his father ran a gas station and a cinema.
Wow. So did he become Baz because the name Mark Anthony was already taken?
I'm going to get to Baz in a minute.
Okay.
There is actually an answer for it, but it's...
Turns out that actually it was Baz Lurhmann that ruined Brooklyn Beckham's wedding, not Mark Anthony.
It was Baz Lurhmann. Dance with your mother.
Dance with your mother. She's sexy.
He's Australian. Get in there, lad.
Get in there.
Get him out, Victoria.
That's exactly how that went, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. He was born in Sydney, but he grew up in a tiny, like, little rural settlement called Herons Creek.
Is it like that episode of The Simpsons where he goes and is like, Bart phones the little Australian kid.
Yes.
And he's like, which way does the sink go? And he's like, go check your neighbour's house. He's like, okay, I'll go. And then he goes and cycles like 100 miles back. And he's like,
yeah,
it's the same way.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
It had a population of under 300.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I grew up in a smallish town connected to a bigger town.
Yeah.
You grew up in...
Yeah, I grew up in quite a small town.
Neither of us have grown up in like under 1,000 population town. Like, all of that sounds like so terrifying to me. I used to know someone who did attend a school where the year groups had to like group together.
Yeah.
So you had like 3 year groups in the same classroom and you're like,
that's mental to me that's a thing.
Wow, that's so rinky dink. As a child, he actually studied ballroom dance and took part in competitions. Ballroom dancing is so foreign to me.
Yeah.
I know nothing about it. And people assume that I do.
Yeah,
because
but Blackpool, Donna. Like, it's the place where
I'm from Blackpool and I did dance as a child.
Yeah.
And I go, I don't know the first thing about ballroom. I never did competitive dance either.
Man, what are you going to do when you're on Strictly and, you know, I'm
going to be surprisingly good because I have a strong fundamental dance background, so I'll be able to pick up on the steps quite easily. I'm going to have quite a slow but consistent rise to the semi-final, and then I'll get voted out, and people will be disappointed because they will go, wow, she made a surprising amount of progress for a big girl.
Yeah, do you think you'd make it to Blackpool? When do they go to Blackpool in? I never know. Is it like the quarterfinals?
I think so. It's later on. It's a big deal.
I know it's a big deal that you got to go to Blackpool.
One year, I worked in the Primark opposite.
Wow.
And I just left work to go like bother people.
Wow.
Katie Price was there, and my manager got a autograph from her on her arm, and she got it tattooed over. That's a true story.
Wow. Oh wow. That's quite something.
Yeah, there you go. He attended St. Joseph Hastings Regional School.
I mean, it was the only school in the region, I'd imagine.
And then St. Paul's Catholic College, and he performed in Shakespeare productions. And while doing this is where he met his future collaborator, Craig Pearce. Craig Pearce would go on to co-write the majority of his best-known films, including Romeo and Juliet. Not being funny. Someone else already wrote Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, most of that is already like Shakespeare done, but you know.
Moulin Rouge, The Great Gatsby, and Elvis.
Okay, so pretty much
all of them.
Yeah.
How do you think he got the name Baz?
So again, my theory of there was a Mark Anthony that already exists. I'm going to say that one's probably not correct. He was not part of the Hacienda Classic, the Happy Mondays. So I don't know, where did Baz come from?
He was given the nickname after Basil Brush because of his hair. He had like fun Basil Brush hair.
I guess it
would have been on Australian television.
Yeah, it would have been on Australian television. Man, that's fun.
I had a bit of a thing researching this when I found this out. The amount of sources call it a local TV show, and you go, how dare you?
How dare you?
That is not local.
And if you want
Australia,
and if you want to know how much of an icon Basil Brush is, go listen to our Christmas episode along with Jack Wood about iconic British puppets.
Who knew that would get involved here?
Who knew?
Who knew? But during high school, he would change his name to Bazmark.
That sounds
such a high schooler thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna. It's a bit Austrian painter coded. Like, I won't lie.
In 1980, he graduated from high school, and the same year was cast as a pimp opposite Judy Davis in the Australian film Winter of Our Dreams. Oh. Everyone's favorite film that was inspired by a script called Someone Left the Cake Out in the Rain about a European anti-nuclear campaigner who comes to Australia and meets a 60s radical turned yuppie. It made $3 million when adjusted for inflation. It's currently on 17% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Why? I mean, you said a lot of things there.
I needed to say them quickly. I wasn't going to let this train stop.
Yeah.
That's all great information.
Yeah, no, I'll leave it at that.
I didn't need to tell you because everyone knows about it.
Everyone knows about it.
It's everyone's favourite film.
It is. It sure is. It'd be redundant to say anything that hasn't already been said.
I've said it all.
Yeah, you said it all.
And you know the rest. In 1982, kind of after, and I think the result of being turned down by the National Institute of Dramatic Arts, or NIDA.
NIDA.
He used all of his money from like film and TV to start the Bond Theatre Company with some friends.
Because he need a theatre to be working in. That's why he...
In March, the company performed American Days by Stephen Polikoff at the Pavilion at Sydney's Bondi Beach, which is so fun.
Yeah.
I love outdoor theatre.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very crunchy thing for me to say, but...
No, I'm with you.
It's great. You get to sit outside, have an ice cream. Love it. American Days is a play about 3 teenagers that are picked up by a multinational record company. I kept noting down some of these because the plots of plays are weird.
Yeah.
He also appeared in the controversial TV documentary Kids of the Cross, where he's just like making films about homeless children.
Oh, okay.
It's really hard to find anything from this because if you search Kids of the Cross, you just get a lot of Christian instructional information for children.
that would make sense.
Yeah. In 1983, he eventually enrolled onto the acting course at NIDA, and he graduated in 1985. His first big and first like very well-known project was Strictly Ballroom. It was originally a play.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was originally a play performed in 1984, and an extended version of the play appeared at the Czechoslovakian Youth Drama Festival in 1986, where it then performed for a full season in Sydney.
Oh, right.
So it appeared in a few different places before getting like a residency in a theatre. It ran for a while. It ran for really good reviews. People loved this play. During this run, it was seen by Ted Albert and his wife, who really, really liked it. Ted would soon start the now defunct M&A production company with another failed Australian producer.
Yep.
So, you know,
it's good stuff.
Already set it up. They approached Baz with the idea to turn his play into a film, and he agreed on the condition that he could direct.
Which I think is fair. I think that's quite a, you know.
It was also quite like a personal project because the plot was inspired by his own experiences in ballroom dancing, as well as Australian dancer Keith Bain, who grew up in a really small town similar to Luhrmann.
Yeah.
I'm going to take like a very, very quick side note to talk about Keith Bain because I think on our show, we do a lot of looking at like really big icons, like very recognizable names. We do sometimes in this miss the like your favorite artist's favorite artist.
Yeah.
And I think Keith Bain's a really good example of this. He was born in 1926 and kind of considered himself a country lad in Australia. He went from being a boys' high school teacher to starting to be a professional dancer. He was really inspired by Austrian dancer Gertrude Bohnenweiser.
Yep.
When he joined her company, he was there until her death in 1959. And her last piece of choreography was for Keith. So really respected kind of throughout of this. And he started to gain a reputation in the early 60s as an Australian ballroom exhibition champion and a Latin American champion. Audiences really liked him and judges really didn't.
Okay.
Because of his unconventional style, you know.
Typical. Yep.
And these experiences would become the subject of Strictly Ballroom. When Keith passed, his funeral was ridiculous. There were so many famous people at his funeral.
Yeah.
Including Kate Blanchett.
I mean, you know, every Australian knows every other Australian.
There is a little bit of that. She has a very nice quote, I think, that she read at the funeral, which is, "I am a student of Keith. Keith's lessons were life lessons. He was an unforgettable man who helped guided many of us through adolescence to maturity."
That's very sweet.
Oh, right. Huge influence. And I'll explain at the end why I'm mentioning so many of these.
Yeah.
Strictly Ballroom received mixed but mostly positive reviews. Australian film critic Adrian Martin said it was amateurish and badly pitched in many respects. And American journalist Jonathan Rosenbaum referred to it as wretched and one of the most horrific and unpleasant movies I've seen in quite some time.
Wow. Jeez.
Have you seen Strictly Ballroom?
I've not, no.
I've not either. I've seen most other Baz Luhrmann films. I couldn't find this on anything.
No.
It's out there.
Look, I don't need to get into the thing of trying to find content on streaming services at the moment because it's it's a real pain. But
we'll talk about it in our next episode.
Yeah.
The film originally previewed in mid-August on 35 screens in Australia and came 6 in the box office. It then opened to 65 screens and ranked second.
Wow.
It was knocked off that spot by Lethal Weapon 3.
Not the best Lethal Weapon, but you know.
It launched his career though as a filmmaker and also influenced the name of UK TV show Strictly Come Dancing.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
I didn't know this either. And please, if this is incorrect, correct me on this. But Strictly Come Dancing started in 2003. I thought that show had been on since the 60s.
I think it had, but I don't think it was called Strictly Come Dancing. I think it was called Come Dancing.
Oh.
I think it's something like that anyway.
So,
I could be wrong. So, Strictly Come Dancing is an amalgamation of Come Dancing,
yeah,
which was a ballroom competition show that was on the BBC, and the film Strictly Ballroom is what?
Yeah.
So,
the
yeah.
film is frequently referenced as an American iteration of Dancing with the Stars, as well as influencing the name of the original UK version, Strictly Come Dancing.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So in 1996,
Sorry, yeah.
Baz Luhrmann came out with his second installment of the Red Curtain trilogy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so these 3 films, Romeo and Juliet, Strictly Ballroom, and Moulin Rouge, are known as the Red Curtain trilogy.
Is it because they start with like a red curtain opening up?
It's his Red Curtain is his philosophy for filmmaking.
Okay.
And they kind of ascribe to what he thinks films should be. His idea of Red Curtain filmmaking is that you should know that you are watching a film at all times. I don't want to show you something that is real. I want to show you a film.
It's definitely an interesting philosophy. And like, I think there's absolute merit to that.
Yeah.
I don't want it for every film. Like,
No.
You know, God, absolutely not. Like, you know, I do really like Baz Luhrmann's work, but I have to be in the mood for it.
Like Muppets Treasure Island, you go, bit loud.
It's a bit loud, yeah.
Well, in 1996, he gave English teachers everywhere the greatest gift
Oh my God,
they
what a
could
gift.
ever have been given. We got Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
Now, this is such like a boring opinion to make, but I genuinely think it is the most valuable educational tool that has ever been produced.
The best thing since Bend It Like Beckham and teaching racial relations, you know? And like, like, how do we teach that? Bend It Like Beckham. How do we teach Shakespeare? Romeo plus Juliet.
Every high school teacher looks at that list of Shakespeare plays and goes, no, I'm going to do Romeo and Juliet again because we can stick that film on because it's sort of timeless.
Yeah. It's both timeless and dated.
I showed it to a class of Italian kids for a class, and they hated it.
Well, yeah, I bet
they were not impressed.
I've heard a common critique of that being like, well, it's not set in Italy, and it's like,
yes, that was it.
Yeah, and it's like, but I hate to. It was written in
England.
It was written in Staffordshire. So
he took time in trying to decide what his next project was going to be, and I think you can see that like Baz Luhrmann does think about what I want to make and why do I want to make it. There's a really nice like quote about him trying to think about this next project. Our philosophy has always been that we need to think up what we need in our life. Choose something creative that will make that life fulfilling and then follow that road. With Romeo and Juliet, I wanted to do something that was to look at the way which Shakespeare might have made a movie out of one of his plays if he was a director. How would he make it? We don't know a lot about Shakespeare, but we do know what makes a movie. He was a player. We know about Elizabethan stages and that he was playing for 3,000 drunken punters from street sweepers to the Queen of England. and his competition was bear baiting and prostitution. So he was a relentless entertainer and a user of incredible devices and theatrical tricks to ultimately create something of meaning and convey a story. That's what we wanted to do.
You know, I see the argument. I don't necessarily agree.
I think this is a fun way of looking at it.
Do you know what I think? I think what I would say to that is that is very much open to interpretation there.
Yes.
Of like, what do you think Shakespeare would do to make this film? And I guess that's what Baz Lurhmann thought. I don't necessarily agree. You know, I don't think he's going to have... Oh, is it Mercutio comes out and is like, young hearts run free?
Well, I think it's not necessarily that. I think the point that he's making is that he's not making the film that Shakespeare would have made or whatever. He's trying to recreate how that felt to see for that audience. Because recreating it like for like doesn't work for a modern audience. You go, this trick doesn't work. I think he's trying to think about the trick Shakespeare plays and how you play that trick the same for a modern audience.
Again, I understand. I don't necessarily agree, but I don't disagree either. It's one of those, like, it's a very interesting way to approach the topic, I guess, is the thing that I would say on that one.
I think there's a better example of it in The Great Gatsby where it uses hip hop.
Yeah.
And it got a lot of criticism for that being a bit of a silly choice. But his argument being, well, modern audiences don't care about jazz.
Yeah.
So what other kind of African-American art can we pull out from?
The jazz of our day, will.i.am.
When you put it like that.
Yeah. I would also, the other thing I'd say about that is that I think that Romeo plus Juliet is a lot more timeless as opposed to The Great Gatsby, which is, I think, very 2012.
Yes.
You could...
Yeah. That one is unfortunate and it does stick out a little bit more.
Yeah, I think that Romeo plus Juliet and Moulin Rouge are a lot more timeless and a lot more classic.
I would push back, though, and say that The Great Gatsby is at least more timeless than Wuthering Heights. Which is already aged like milk.
Yeah. I agree with that.
It's been out like a week and it's already like, girl, come on.
Yeah,
the kids don't even want Labubu's anymore.
I don't. No, I did think it was a weird scene where Heathcliff is there like, but Kathy, Labubu's doing 6-7 at McDonald's drive-thru. I
just wouldn't mind if they didn't have so much sex on Dubai Chocolate.
I know, I did think this, and then that scene where the Rizzler showed up and they're bringing the boom. It was so dated. I was like, God, it's 2026, not 2024. All right, come on.
Yeah. She's quoting that fell out of a coconut tree speech.
Yeah, oh my God.
After getting funding from Fox for a workshop, Leonardo DiCaprio agreed to pay his own expenses to fly to Sydney to be part of the workshop.
Oh, fun.
And after seeing the test footage, Fox agreed to fund the whole project.
That's good.
It was really like, they saw it, they went, oh, he's great.
Are you going to talk about Leonardo DiCaprio being a real dickhead on this film?
Oh, no, go on.
Him and Claire Danes, who plays Juliet.
Oh, yeah.
They hated each other because Leonardo DiCaprio was a real cocky little prick and would just play pranks on people the whole time. And Claire Danes... Yeah, because this was like Leo. He'd done acting since he was a child, but this was
like one of the really big roles for him.
But he was such an arrogant little twat, apparently, and she was just like, "I'm sick of him. I'm sick of his stupid." He just would just turn up and do things perfectly because he's Leonardo DiCaprio, obviously. But then he would be such a knob about it, apparently.
Oh, see, that's very fun because I actually have a really complete opposite, a quote from Miriam Margolyes in her memoir about Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay, interesting, yeah.
This is so sweet. Leonardo has grown into an extremely fine actor, but back then he was just a handsome boy who didn't always wash. He was quite smelly in that very male way some young men are. Sometimes he wore a dress. Leonardo, I think you're gay, I said, and he laughed and said, no, Miriam, I'm really not gay.
He's really not.
No. But I was wrong. We filmed in Mexico City, paradise for someone like me who loves frolicking around flea markets and antique shops. And like me, Leonardo was into bling in a big way too. We'd spend hours going through the markets together. I don't know if I've ever had such fun.
Oh, well, that's very nice.
So, he was mean to Claire, but
yeah, he was. No, him and Claire Danes really did not
Mary
get.
Magdalene's is like, I like this stinky little boy.
I think they have since reconciled, but I think for a very long time they had beef.
That's fair. I also read that she had a bit of a crush on him during the filming of that.
I don't think she did.
No,
I think her telling of it is not.
It was like, no.
No, I don't think that's what
No,
happened.
that could very much be that reporting thing of,
Yeah.
she likes you. And you go, no, I need you to be out of my sight.
Yeah.
I do not like you.
Yeah.
Triggered a bunch of women in the audience with that one then. Sorry, guys. This film was huge. It arguably propelled Leonardo DiCaprio into the limelight. It made him a teen heartthrob.
Sure did.
I remember seeing the bit in the fish tank on MTV.
Yeah.
You know, just like out of context, just that as a clip. He'd done the impossible. He'd got the MTV generation interested in Shakespeare.
Yeah.
That it was cool to like that film.
And like you said, English teachers everywhere rejoiced.
Yeah! Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet opened on Boxing Day in Australia and grossed 3.3 in its first week, and it went on to gross 2.6 million in Australia. Jared, how much do you think it grossed worldwide in the end?
Considerably more than that. I'm going to go with a 80?
147 million.
Oh my God.
It was nominated for 2 Oscars and it won 4 BAFTAs.
Well, there you go.
You know, I like that film a lot.
Yeah, I enjoy it. Again, it's, I think it's a little silly. I won't lie. I think I think my read on it is more of what is a 90s teenager's read of Romeo and Juliet. Yeah.
Plays it way better than Wuthering Heights.
He played...
way better. This is the book I thought I was when I was 14. I agree with the Shakespeare one.
Yeah, they've got guns. They're there, and it's so dramatic, and they're having big fun house parties, and...
Do you know my favorite? This is so dorky. My favorite detail in that film is that the delivery service is called Post Haste. I really like that. I thought that was funny when I was a teenager. I've always
Yeah, I think it's a very... I genuinely believe more than what he said about if he goes, this is what I thought this was when I was 14, I'd go, I 100% see that. That's absolutely more of what I think the read on that film is.
But I
don't disagree with what, but that's...
Yeah, no.
That's how... Because I think it's loud and preposterous and in the best way possible.
I think Moulin Rouge is probably...
The most loud and the most preposterous.
Yeah.
Oh my God, absolutely. That would be my 2-word review of...
Loud and preposterous.
Loud, preposterous.
I think it's probably the best example of what he's trying to do by invoking not the period, but what the period felt like.
Yeah.
Because you go, yeah, if you see, there is actual video footage of the Moulin Rouge, and it's all very ooh, to watch it as people in 2026, it's all a bit hokey and doo-dah and doo-dah. That was the hottest shit.
Yeah,
that was
obviously.
So fun and cool. That's the biggest, coolest club to go to.
Mm-hmm.
We can't put on the
well, yeah,
that doesn't
obviously.
really work for us. So he smartly puts in Nirvana instead, and it works. I think they're very smart choices that on the surface seem silly.
Yeah.
But we've already mentioned it.
We sure have.
The final installment of the Red Curtain trilogy. And I think, and you'll probably agree with me, you better.
Yeah.
This is the film that makes Baz Luhrmann an icon.
I think it's the film that really cements what he is as an artist. Yeah, I think he's one of very few at this point in time where we have filmmakers that you go to because of who they are as opposed to what they're making. I'd argue it's like Christopher Nolan, maybe Spielberg.
Some would say auteur.
Yeah, I think he is an auteur. Tarantino,
Yeah.
I think this is where you really get that, and I think that's where it becomes...
So back in 1993, he was directing a production of Puccini's La Bohème.
Okay.
Which is the same opera that is the plot of the musical Rent.
Yes.
And
Starving artists.
Starving artists.
We need to burn our art to stay warm.
There is a great article that tells you every single thing that is based on La Bohème.
Yeah.
And basically, it's everything.
Yes.
This came as if we're making a lasagna, this is the first layer of pasta of the...
Yeah, I mean, I can see a bit of La Boheme in it, but like...
Yeah, you know, little bits of it. He also is heavily influenced by the Greek tragedy Orpheus and Eurydice, the same myth that inspired the plot of Hades Town and the indie roguelike game Hades.
People say it's great. I've never played it.
One of Baz's biggest inspirations, though, was Bollywood.
Yeah. I mean, you can kind of see that.
Yeah.
Especially in Moulin Rouge.
Oh, especially in Moulin Rouge. While in India, while researching for a operatic production of A Midsummer's Night Dream, what a great day. Like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, I'm going to India because I'm doing a production of A Midsummer's Night Dream. Cool,
Yeah.
Great, Baz. Some people just get to say those words. We went to this huge ice cream parlor palace to see a Bollywood movie. Already.
Yeah, I mean...
That's great. Here we were with 2,000 Indians watching a film in Hindi, and there was the lowest possible comedy and incredible drama and tragedy, and then it breaks out into songs, and it was 3.5 hours. We thought we'd suddenly learnt Hindi because we understood everything. We thought it was incredible how involved the audience were, how uncool they were, how their coolness had been ripped aside, and they were united in a singular sharing of the story. The thrill of thinking, how do we ever do this in the West? How do we get past that cerebral cool and perceived cool? It requires the idea of comic tragedy. You could get those switches. In Shakespeare, fine. In Moulin Rouge, we went further. We recognize our story through Ophidian shapes, through La Boheme, through those texts. Whether you know those texts or not, you recognize those patterns and types of characters.
Yeah.
So he likes using archetypes and images of things that you very clearly go, it's that.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great example of just how many places he gets inspiration from.
And I think that the other thing as well is that he ties it all together very well in that Bollywood is not the first thing I think of when I think of Moulin Rouge, but as soon as you say it, I'm like, oh
yeah,
yeah,
it's
obviously
really clearly that.
It's really clearly there. And I think that's quite a skill in and of itself to not just be like, oh, well, you're just doing this. It's like, oh, no, you're still putting your own style and merging styles together to make that into its own unique vision, as opposed to just being like, oh, it's just a Western Bollywood film, you know?
In comparison to Emerald Fiddel's Wuthering Heights, it just uses things that are mostly popular to pop the audience into thinking it's a better film. Leonardo DiCaprio auditioned unsuccessfully for the role of Christian. He could have been in that film. I don't think he can sing.
No, I don't. I mean, maybe he can. We've not seen him do it.
I would say if we've not seen him sing in anything yet, I'm going to assume that Leonardo DiCaprio cannot sing.
That's fair. I also think as well that I think Ewan McGregor is kind of the best person for that because he's a little bit older. At that point in time, I think Leo would have been a bit too young to be singing to Nicole Kidman.
But he has that like puppy face on him as well. Ewan McGregor is so like, oh.
Yeah, I can see that.
Ethan Hawke, Heath Ledger, and Jake Gyllenhaal also auditioned for the role.
Oh, okay.
I have no real opinions about that because everyone always is considered for every role ever in Hollywood.
It's true.
It was also reported that Courtney Love auditioned for Nicole Kidman's role.
No.
Very different film.
The woman who's had the most diss tracks written about her than anyone else, which I think is... The fact that Hollaback Girl is about Courtney Love is...
It's great.
Yeah.
I don't like Courtney Love.
I don't.
I like that she exists, though. I like hearing about her, you know?
Yeah. We don't need to talk about Courtney Love.
And we're never going to do an episode about her.
Oh my God, no.
I like Hole. Hole's really good. Anyway, she did give approval for Nirvana's Smells Like Teen Spirit to be used in the film. She didn't approve for it to be used in the Broadway show.
Yeah, well, that's, you know, there's a few that aren't in the Broadway show that are.
I don't love the Broadway show. And people are going to get really upset with me about this. I think, obviously, music licensing is complicated.
Yes.
I just think some of the replacements are bad.
I also think as well that Moulin Rouge is, I understand why the making it a theatre show, it does make a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's such a movie.
Yeah, right.
You know, I think you don't get as much from it without those big silly set pieces.
I guess the trade-off is it's a big dance show.
Yeah,
There's
that's
a
fair.
lot of dancing in there, and that's always
that's
always fun for me. Moulin Rouge was made on a budget of 50 million, which is not as much as I thought it was.
No, but I think they you think about it, they don't really use that many locations. It's quite...
They built all the sets. They built the elephant.
But it's quite a small...
Yeah, they...
You know, there's only really like the apartments, the Moulin Rouge itself, and the elephant, and that's kind of it. That's the only real locations that you go to. There's not that many.
I was really sad because I had this on VHS.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't mention this, by the way. I'm going to just pause this for... This was my favorite film growing up. We talk about the Phantom of the Opera. We talk about Only Fools and Horses. You know, all the things that go into... Before all of that, there was Baz Luhrmann's Moulin Rouge.
Donna, you didn't need to say it. I think it was already like implied. I think it was very clear.
I got it on tape for my 10th birthday. It was a 12. I was very excited by the illegality of the whole thing.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't have a clue what was going on in that film, by the way. Really?
I mean, the plot is not the main thing that...
yeah, I just didn't really understand like the nuance of the story. I was like, oh, this is so sad, and that man with a mustache is mean.
The Duke. Oh.
Yeah, what a bad guy. Not really. Why are they singing Madonna's Like a Virgin?
Did you know that they were all licensed songs at that point? Or as a 12-year-old,
No,
you just like,
I
wow, this is great.
At a 10-year-old, I did not... I knew some of them were licensed songs. I did not know that they were all licensed songs. There was a making of at the end of the VHS.
Oh, we used to do that.
I used to love a DVD making of, and there was like a whole mini documentary about the sets and how many they built and what they actually like look like.
Yeah.
Can't find it anywhere. I was really sad. I really did try, but that elephant is bigger. The one they built is bigger than the one in the actual Moulin Rouge.
I can believe that.
Which is kind of fun.
Well, because the Moulin Rouge is actually not a very big venue. It's quite small.
It is, but it is all there.
It is all there, yeah.
How much of the budget do you think was given to Nicole Kidman, given the
Most of it. I think most of it was given to Nicole Kidman.
Do you want to know why?
Go on.
Because she broke her ribs twice.
Jeez.
Once.
No wonder why she looks so nervy sat on that big swing. No wonder why she's there like, oh, God.
I think one of them once is being lifted during a dance sequence in a corset, and the other one is falling downstairs in high heels. She also tore her knee cartilage during that fall on that swing.
God.
She just got beaten up. Like,
dude, I just thought that the worst thing that ever happened in entertainment was like mankind being thrown off of the Hell in a Cell, but
no, apparently it was Nicole Kidman.
Nicole Kidman would have preferred to have been thrown off the Hell in a Cell by the Undertaker. That she would have had less injuries.
Yeah, she was aiming throughout to have that 18-inch waist, so she's like very tight laced into that corset, and you do see it in some of the scenes where you're like, she looks tiny.
Yeah, she does.
Can we take a moment to talk about how beautiful she is in that film?
Yeah, but can we also take a moment to talk about how the fact that she only knows one song as the character?
We watched it recently, not because of this episode, just because I wanted to watch it.
As a character, the only song she performs, and I'm not talking of like when she's like learning to do the show or whatever, or she's seducing Christian. It's like she's there, and the only song she sings is
Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend.
And even when they're doing the show at the end,
it's the same song. They just take some of the words out.
Diamonds.
Hand, best friend, men, cold, girls, old. And you're like,
it's the only song
does TB affect your memory?
I guess it does. She only knows one song in that whole film.
I don't want to hear it. Oh, what about the secret love song? Shut up.
That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about when she is performing on stage.
As a professional performer, she's only ever done one song. She's done that show every night, maybe twice a night for years. Yeah. And she's never been like, oh, can I do Lady Marmalade tonight? And they're like, no.
No. Kiss on the hand. Maybe quite continental.
Continental.
But Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend. And you said before to be like, oh, well, you know, it's showing that she's stuck in the cycle. She's always doing that. No, I think
I think she can only learn one song. I think she can only learn one song. Yeah, I'm sure it has a meaning. Sometimes the curtains are blue.
Yeah, you know, she only knows one.
Look, I'll tell you what the colours of curtains mean all goddamn day. That woman only knows one song. Other than Nicole Kidman ending up in like a full body cast and just being like injured throughout, the rest of the filming went smoothly. They also had to delay Star Wars because of how injured she was. One of the things that delayed the film for so long was it took about 2.5 years to get all the music rights.
Damn. I mean, I guess there's a lot of licensed songs in that. I mean, it's all licensed songs.
They're all licensed songs. Cat Stevens refused to have his song Father and Son used based for like religious reasons.
Okay, yeah.
He's like, I don't want to be associated with this filth.
That's, you know.
And Frank Sinatra's My Way is actually cut from the film. There was meant to be a scene where the Duke sings My Way.
Do you know what? Good. That movie's a bit too long anyway. So I don't think that much is missing on that.
But movie fans, if you're wondering why at the end he starts running to the stage screaming My Way,
yeah,
that's why it's a callback to a cut scene.
Yeah. Before we move on, can I just also give a shout out to the absolute GOAT, Jim Broadbent?
Oh, he's so good in that film.
Like a virgin, touched for the very first time.
You're dying, Christine. You're dying.
Yeah, no, shout out, absolute GOAT, Jim Broadbent.
Oh, honestly, there's some incredible performances. Everyone is giving it 1,000% all of the time.
Oh yeah, there's no scenery left. There's a reason why it's all green screen. It's because they ate all of the scenery. That giant elephant, it was eaten by the lot of them.
There's not that much green screen.
There's not, but like with like the outside bits, you
Yeah.
can see all the like. But yeah, no. And John Leguizamo on his knees. Anyway, let's move on.
He's like, I'm going to be in this guy's films forever. And you're like, you're going to be in 2 of them.
Yeah, you're in 2 of them, but.
Moulin Rouge premiered at the 2001 Cannes Film Festival on May 2001. Obviously.
Yep.
As the film's opening title and received, as they all do, an absurdly long standing ovation.
All right.
I don't know, it was like 45 minutes or I think it was like 12 minutes.
It's pretty respectable. That means it's a pretty good film if it's like, I love this taking the piss clapping thing. I think it's...
Yeah, for those who don't know, the Cannes Film Festival has a thing where standing ovations are starting to become ridiculously long to the point where I think it's insulting.
Well, yeah, but then The Rock starts crying and then it's like, well, do you know what? It's quite funny, actually.
Comes all the way back around.
Yeah.
It then opened in New York and LA on May 18th and grossed 167,000 on its opening weekend.
Damn.
It was 4th in the box office.
Okay.
Jared, what 3 films
2001
came before 2001's Moulin Rouge?
So is this for the year or is this or when
just at the time?
At the time. Like, when in the year are we? You say May.
June 1st.
June 1st.
Was its national release.
2001. Oh. Did we have Mission Impossible 2 yet?
We did not, but it's a good guess.
Oh man, June 2001. Can you give me a clue?
One of them has stayed with us forever. One is now such a important cultural landmark of cinema that like it's affected generations.
It's not Freddy Got Fingered.
Do you think Freddy Got Fingered came out in 2001?
I think it came out around then. Yeah, I think Freddy Got Fingered is like I think it did come out in 2001.
Sorry, I got recommended Freddy Got Monkeys.
Freddy Got Monkeys.
2001. I apologize.
Thank
it was
you.
not 2001. Freddy Got Fingered did not gross more than Moulin Rouge.
Star Wars. I'll go with Star Wars because
no.
God. Come on, give me another clue, and I will. Spider-Man.
No. Pearl Harbor.
Oh yeah.
The Animal, a film I'm not aware of, and Shrek.
Oh, of course. You could have given me more of a clue than just.
It changed a generation, Jared.
You could have.
In the morning, I'm making waffles. I actually am.
You could have said about throwing bread on stage. Anything like that. Like
the guy from Smash Mouth.
God rest his soul.
Such a legacy behind him.
Can't wait to do an episode on him.
Moulin Rouge would eventually gross an absurd amount of money.
Go on.
121 million. Almost like internationally that year.
Damn.
Big numbers.
Big numbers.
Robert Ebert rated it 3.5 out of 4, remarking, the movie is all colour and all music, sound and motion, kinetic energy, broad strokes, operatic excess. All very true.
Yeah.
It received 8 Oscar nominations, including Best Picture, Best Actress. It won in 2 categories, including Best Art Direction and Best Costume Design.
Absolutely. As well deserved.
And it was the first musical film to receive a Best Picture nomination since Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah,
Which is a big one. People were very shocked, though, that Baz Luhrmann didn't get a Oscar nod for Best Director.
Yeah, it's always like one of those ones. They
don't like him.
No. I mean, he's too loud. They don't like that.
He's too loud.
He's too loud. I mean, there's a reason why he makes an Elvis biopic, and it's because he wants to get that Oscar nomination.
He tried to make Australia and everyone hated it.
Yeah, we're not talking about Australia.
There is a fun bit in that Oscar ceremony, though. Whoopi Goldberg keeps making digs, being like, oh, I guess Moulin Rouge just kind of directed itself.
Yeah.
And it just keeps cutting to Baz being like, it's fine.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I'm going to pause here, though, because I don't need to break down the process of every other Baz Luhrmann film.
Yeah.
But I am going to finish us off by mentioning his long-term collaborator, Catherine Martin Luhrmann, and his wife.
It's going to say it's coincidence they got the same last name. If that.
No, it's weird, isn't it? Thank God they found each other. She has worked on every one of his films in costume and production design.
Yeah.
And she is basically the person who takes the idea and makes it into something.
Yeah, I mean, again, the argument is always got to be style over substance with Baz Luhrmann. And sometimes that's better than others. Sometimes it works better than others.
Mm-hmm.
But to have the style...
You need a stylist.
You need a stylist. And she really does make a lot of that pop. And the costumes in Moulin Rouge...
I mean, in any Baz Luhrmann film.
In any Baz Luhrmann film, yeah, absolutely. But, especially...
Moulin Rouge are incredible.
Yeah, it's it's so fun how all of the ridiculous costumes they end up wearing. It's great. It's so campy and fun.
There's so much detail. There's so much attention to it. It's how you make stylized period pieces without it being weird. Emerald Fennell. Catherine Martin won both the Academy Awards for Moulin Rouge.
Good for her.
She became the second woman to win 2 Oscars in a single year, and the first woman ever to do it twice.
Wow.
Because she did it again with The Great Gatsby. She holds the records for most Oscars won by any Australian, male or female. She has the most Oscars of any Aussie. So
wow.
I think that's incredible because...
Not Paul Hogan? Not Crocodile Dundee himself?
No.
Wow. Elle McPherson? She not...
No.
Kylie
Minogue.
Jason Donovan?
Jason Donovan's never won an Oscar.
Oh, damn.
Mike from Neighbours.
Mike from Neighbours. Guy Pearce. God damn.
I bring her up because without Catherine, there is no Baz Luhrmann film.
No,
they do
not.
work together to create these. So shout out to her. Well done.
Absolutely, 100%.
Another little icon. But Jared, is Baz Luhrmann an icon?
Yeah, I think Baz Luhrmann's an icon. I think, I think because we just live in an age where auteur filmmaking just is going more and more by the wayside.
Yeah.
We don't get many people who get to have a unique voice because you go, no, make the slop. Make the superhero Marvel slop. Make
the algorithm driven and tested.
Look, and I know that you've been dunking on Emerald Fennell.
Oh, and I'm going to continue to do so
in our post show. But it's one of those things that you do have to give her the credit of being well, at least you do have the ability to make these creative decisions and your own thing.
Yes.
Mostly because your dad's a multi-billionaire and we don't need to get into that, but being able to have your own unique voice in this age of cinema now is becoming more and more difficult. So you have to be able to praise it when you can. I don't have to like it. That's the difference there. And I think that's the thing with Baz Luhrmann of being able to make something with your own unique voice is something that we just don't have right now in cinema. So I think, yeah, absolutely is an icon.
It's 100% my point as well. I think when so much cinema lacks any amount of identity, you know what a Baz Luhrmann film looks, sounds, and smells like.
Yeah,
from a mile away. It's so distinct, and that's always so exciting because you know what you're getting yourself into.
I do remember when the announcement that there was going to be an Elvis Baz Luhrmann film, and I went, That's going to be a bit loud, isn't it?
That's going to be loud, yeah. There's also like proof that there is still space in our cinema for romance and camp and like a real old style Hollywood.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that I think is so missing in...
A lot of people pine and go, oh, I wish we would make movies like this. He still is doing that.
Yeah, I think in the way that like Quentin Tarantino's last couple of films have been like, I mean, especially Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which was just like the 60s on Overload.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Baz Luhrmann is like old Hollywood in that kind of way that, you know.
They look like Technicolor movies, or
they do.
They feel
like Technicolor movies. Yeah, 100%.
And that is my lesson for this. Have a style. Develop your own style and aesthetic. People, regardless of what it is, people are drawn to styles and aesthetic when they're original.
Yeah, I think that's...
And it is quite common for higher critics to go, I don't like this is loud and ugly. Many people, we've made the same comparison already. Many people say that about the Muppets as well.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I think there is nothing wrong with style over substance necessarily when you're telling these broad kind of myth style stories.
Yeah.
You know what the characters are and you know what the plots are. One of the big elements of red curtain cinema is that you know the ending.
Yeah,
you always see how the film ends before it begins.
Yeah.
So that you don't have to worry about the what, you worry about the why.
Yeah.
I think to Luhrmann's style, there actually is a lot of substance when you contrast it to Wuthering Heights. Because all of the music in Wuthering Heights is there because Charlie XCX is the most popular musician right now.
Yeah.
That I refuse to believe that she could give me a more substantial answer. But when you levy that against Baz Luhrmann, all hip-hop's in The Great Gatsby because of this.
Yeah.
You have the reasons that actually justify it a little bit more. And that's why I think those films feel more satisfying as a viewing experience. And you're not just slapping something trendy and modern onto something old and going, see, it's better now.
Yeah, I can agree with that. The other thing I'd tack on is that, like, you know, nothing wrong with being colourful, you know?
Oh, please, be more colourful.
Be more colourful. Not everything needs to be beige and grey. Like, you know, slap some ridiculous Technicolor on there. And I think that's definitely how you become an icon, is by being pretty colourful, I'd say. If you haven't already, please give us a follow on your podcast platform of choice, whether you're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever it is where you get your fine audio medium content. You can find us on YouTube as well. And if you want to hear our full thoughts, although I feel like you've heard most of them already.
Oh, no, I've got more thoughts.
More thoughts on the Wuthering Heights movie. You can head on over to Patreon, patreon.com/howtobeanicon, or the link is in the description. Like I say, it is currently free, so, you know, you just subscribe over there. You get access to all of our bonus content and all of our post shows. It's a really, really fun time. And also, as well, if you could please give us a follow on Instagram, How to Be an Icon Pod. We post some very fun stuff on there. Next week, no one told me that life was going to be this way. Scream is coming out, so we're talking about Courtney Cox. Smooth. It's so smooth. Yeah, no, talking about Courtney Cox, because, yeah, Scream 7 is out.
Could I be any more excited for that?
Yeah. But yeah, no, so Courtney Cox is our icon next week. I'll be honest with you, her career goes exactly how you think it goes, and that's not in a bad way. It just is what it is. But join us for that. But anyway, John, this has been a wonderful episode. Thank you very much. And diamonds are a girl's best friend home, everybody.
Diamonds!
Cartier!
Tiffany!